Now, to move on into a little bit of rock and roll news, we have a wild exclusive story coming in from the Mecca of metal, Los Angeles, California. So, Philip H. Anselmo, the former vocalist of Pantera, has been doing mini sets of Pantera tunes with his band Phil Anselmo and the Illegals, which is a killer hardcore metal project. It's a solo group. I highly recommend you check them out if you haven't. And Phil went, I guess maybe not personally Phil, but on the Illegals Facebook page, there was a post that said, "We're in Hollywood, California tonight. Start to finish, full Pantera set. Come see it at the Viper Room tonight. Going to be historically epic on many levels. We'll see you there." So, obviously trying to drum up a huge amount of excitement for this event. And he was successful. Not only did this event make news all over the place after the fact, this event was in the headlines before it even happened. So, the metal community was incredibly excited to see this and to see what's going on. I felt like there was going to be a little bit of a mixed reaction, and I'm actually not seeing that mixed reaction that I kind of expected. Of course it wasn't all roses between Phil and the Abbott brothers. That's common knowledge. But I think, and I asked, the lead singer of Testament on the interview that we're airing today about this as well, and he feels the same way, is that we're at a point in time here, and like I was just talking about, life and death earlier, people aren't here forever, where we need to appreciate what we have. This is Phil's old band. This is, Phil cut his teeth with this band. He learned his chops with this group. So in my personal opinion, I think he has every right to go out on stage and perform these songs. He helped write most of these songs. He was the man who sang these songs. So he went and took the stage with his group. And this is the introduction that he did for this show, which I thought was telling in a couple of ways.
And let's make this clear. I'm doing this set in honor of Vince and Dime. Let's go ape shit.
He went straight into it after that. So, Phil's kind of seemed like he wanted to say a little bit more after saying this is in tribute. But the audience's reaction, I think, signaled to him that he had said enough. And that's the thing. I think that luckily we're at a point where even the metal fans, the metal community understands that this has huge sentimental value to Phil. Not only that, Phil Anselmo, talk about a strong person. Talk about a man who has literally been through hell and back in his life, fighting for his life on a daily basis through, one of the worst tales of addiction we've ever heard. Here he is, slimmed down. He sounds fantastic. Let me say, Phil sounds the best he's sounded, I think, since the mid-90s. And, you go through these comments, the fans feel the exact same way. I make sure not to read any of these comments before I make my opinion. But when you go and look at them, that's what everybody's saying. He sounds incredible singing these Pantera songs. Not only that, but you can see the passion and the emotion in his face. I can only imagine all of the feelings that it must be bringing up for him to be on stage performing these same tunes. And, I'm sure Pantera probably played the Viper Room at some point in time, the way that they were circuiting through California and Hollywood. So, I think this was really good for Phil. Not only for Phil, I think this is fantastic for the metal community. I'm of the age where I wasn't able to go and see Pantera in their original lineup. And guess what? If I had the opportunity to go see Phil and the Illegals play these Pantera songs in such a kick-ass fashion like they have, I would jump at the chance because, I never got the opportunity, and there's many people my age who never got the opportunity and would love to, because there's still a strong love for this music and a strong passion for this music, and this music still really matters. So I think that anything we can do to preserve those special times, I think that's something we could do. Like I say, I can't imagine what's going through Phil's mind now that both of the Abbott brothers have passed. Rest their souls. This is also dedicated to them. So, I think this is, again, a really positive thing for the metal community. Phil sounds great. And if it's a one-off, that's fine. I think this was really the right call. It makes me really happy.